Good morning. Excuse my little cough. I have been camping in my van the past few days, a little bit less than a week, and it was super cold last night, so I have a little just morning like clearing it out. Our bodies are such amazing machines that when it's cold or dry, they'll just produce some mucus to protect ourselves. Thank you all for joining. This is intended to be a flow style yoga class, and I always take these first 10 or 15 minutes to drop in, give everybody a chance to hop on, give a little check-in, what's been going on with me, what's been going on with you. If you're watching live, shoot me a comment, let me know how you're feeling. It's Monday morning, so if you set an intention for the week, type your intention in. I'd love to include you in my prayers and in my intention setting, visualizing you with your fruition of your intention. And, I have been taking a little bit of time off from teaching this Facebook Live yoga class. I've been off for a couple of weeks. I think I maybe taught one class last week. I had just been going through some personal transformation, and I talked about it on the last class, just this idea that, I'll speak in the first person. For me, I had some thought forms that were really limiting me and holding me back. And through this coaching program that I've been doing, also through speaking with some healers and somatic therapists that I know, my friends, I've come to understand that thought forms actually can take on a life of their own. And maybe you've heard this before. Maybe you've heard that when you think a thought, especially repeatedly, and give it a lot of energy, that it then kind of exists outside of yourself. Maybe you felt it driving down the road or walking somewhere where you just kind of feel like you just ran into something, that you walked through someone else's cloud of anger or frustration or even joy, right? I think you get that on hiking trails more than some of the other perceived negative emotions, but these thought forms can exist outside of us. And so if that's true, then what I've come to understand is that these thought forms, when they have a life of their own, just like every other life on the planet, they desire to stay alive. They'll do everything they can to hold on to their life. And when, for me, going through deep personal transformation, I've been experiencing thought forms that they don't want to die. They're hanging on. And for me, specifically around relationships and friendships and attachment style, I've been unpacking childhood trauma over the past, month. I'm in a couple of different book clubs. One is The Body Keeps the Score. I'm also in a book club for A Course in Miracles. And that's my update. I've been going through some personal transformation. I've been feeling these thought forms holding on and working on letting them go. I feel like I've made some huge shifts in the past couple of weeks. I went on a little vacation up to Paonia and stayed on the lavender farm, and I reconnected in my relationship, which feels really good. I realized that part of my thought form trying to stay alive was really trying to isolate me and get me away from the people that I loved. So I've been reconnecting, and I came up here to Everland for work day yesterday. We have a big press conference coming up on Thursday. So if you or anyone you know are involved in the media, if you're a blogger or a journalist or a photojournalist or want to get an invite up here to see the space and see what we're creating here, for those of you that don't know, Everland is a 146-acre piece of property about an hour south of Denver, where we're building an immersive outdoor art park, a permanent Burning Man style art installation as a whole, with many little art installations, interactive, kind of choose your own adventure, climbable, changeable. We're employing many of the artists that have been put out of work because the festival's being canceled this year. And it's a place for community, it's a place for families, it's a place for spirit. We also have another thought form outside of ourselves, campus. And it's all the best things that you might love about church without any of the dogma or the in the way that I've experienced in a quote-unquote church. So this is more about community gathering, acts of service, connecting with nature, and the most important piece is connecting with your own. So no one here is going to tell you anything about spirituality or about worship. They're just going to ask you what you think and what you have to share. And it's about finding that inner compass and finding that inner and then sharing. So that's kind of my update. Deep feels, personal transformation, camping in my pop-up van and beautiful places, reconnecting in my relationships, and working on this big, beautiful outdoor art park and immersive art park with a community of people that I love. So I'd love to hear what you guys love to know, requests. Also, if anyone else out there is unpacking childhood trauma, if anybody has experienced or thinks they might be experiencing complex post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD in general, I'm developing quite a list of resources. Some of them amazing local human beings that do things like somatic experiencing therapy and body work, and also books and video series, and just if I as a resource to anyone else who's going through this, I would love to be able to do that. And for those of you that are watching live, yoga class, again, send me a little comment. And I love taking special requests. So if there's something in your body that could really use a nice stretch or strengthening or a specific yoga pose, I love working those into my flows. Or if there's something energetically, have that theme woven into the class. Add that into the comments, let me know. And if you're watching on a replay, please leave a comment who is taking but if you leave a comment, then I will know. And last but not least, just in terms of like little announcements before we get started, if you do tend to watch these on replay, so much if you watch them through YouTube. I'm building that platform, my presence. So Facebook's really easy. I know you don't have to like click on but my YouTube channel is in the comments, also with my Venmo and PayPal. So if you would like to contribute to keep this work, and if you can't, I just ask that you offer some other form of energy exchange, maybe a prayer or a blessing or shout out or a share. And of course, sharing from the YouTube channel is a nice way. Just figuring out technology, Age of Aquarius, technology and spirituality coming together right before our very eyes. Alright, so with that said, let's go ahead and get started. We'll be practicing yoga for about 60 minutes from this point in time. If you have a couple pillows, I would recommend grabbing them. Also, you can use yoga blocks or blocks of wood or books or pots, but and you can just set those off to the side. And if you have like a little blanket that you might want to put on during our final relaxation, go ahead and grab that now. Take a little sip of my cacao. Part of my journey with healing from trauma has been coming off of central nervous system stimulants that I've been on for years: Ritalin, coffee, cannabis, and a little of cacao in the morning as an alternative to the coffee that I used to drink. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Let's roll the shoulders up and back and down. Close the eyes. Just begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's just do that a couple more times. Now, a nice trick for calming down if you do have trauma patterns or, get wound up and would like to calm yourself down or have ruminating thoughts is to allow your exhale to be twice as long as your inhale. And this means that you're spending more time in the parasympathetic nervous system. So in these beginning phases of the class, we're just dropping into our body, tuning into the breath. And so doing a little bit of breath work here today. So count how many seconds on your inhale. Could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever your meter is. And then count twice as many seconds on the exhale. And just open your mouth and let the air come out of your mouth silently. So let's try that together. More just like that. Return to normal. At this point in time, I invite you to think of an intention, a positive word or phrase that you can come back to throughout the class, almost like a mantra. And if you do a phrase, I invite you to speak it in the present tense. So instead of will be or gonna, my intention is for the week. It's Monday morning. It's a beautiful time to set my intention for the week. And so a nice example is, instead of saying, I'm going to be present this week, your intention could be, I am presence. And that way you can just wanders through class. I am presence. I am presence. I am presence. You can repeat that throughout the week. So take a moment and set your intention. And once you have, please bring the palms to press together at heart center. We'll begin with 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om to cleanse and set your space wherever you happen to be practicing right now, this place and time. 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time let's make a sound, make a sigh. And this time with the eyes closed, rub the hands, create some heat and some friction with the hands. And place the hands over the eyes, allow the heat of the hands to soften the face and smile. And gently flutter the eyes open and float the hands down. Let's go ahead and start in the tabletop position today. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. On an inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze for cow pose. And on an exhale, press down into the earth, hug the belly in, tuck the chin, upper back. Do this a few more times just like that. Big inhales. And exhale. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And come on back to center. Walk the hands forward or the knees back about 6 or 7 inches so that you're a little bit wide or long of the traditional tabletop position. And we're going to take some hip circles here. So hips towards the heels, and on an inhale, hips swings to the right and forward. Let's do 2 more. And reverse directions. Inhale, hips left and forward. Two more. Bring the big toes to touch. Drop the hips towards the heels. And allow the forehead to rest on the earth for child's pose. Take a few deep breaths here. Find a little here so that the elbows and wrists are lifting off the earth. Find strength in the shoulders here, almost as if you're already downward facing dog. Warming up those shoulders. 4 deep breaths here. 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Release the hands, soften the elbows. This time just fully surrender into your child's pose. Come back to your intention. Loud. One more deep breath. Beautiful. And let's slowly roll forward. Find your way onto your belly. Turn my mat a little bit so I think you guys can see me a little bit better if I come this way. So find your way onto your belly. Do a couple warm-ups of the back area. So on an inhale, low cobra. Little to no weight in the hands. Length through the back of the neck. That's your inhale. And on an exhale, slowly lower. Couple more. Maybe you start to put a little bit of weight into the hands. Pulsing on the inhale up. And exhale down. Let's do two more. Maybe you come up a little bit, maybe you come up a lot. Just find your rhythm. Inhale up through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the feet. Soft knees, belly hugs in. Let the head drop down between the arms. You can start to pedal out the feet here, bending one knee at a time as you press one heel at a time towards the earth. Deep breaths. Let's do 4 more deep breaths. First down dog of the day, repeating your intention, affirmation as a mantra. 3 more. 2. Last one. When you're ready, walk your feet in, soft knees, grab opposite biceps, let the head hang. Shake the head yes and no. Circle the head in both directions. Open and close the jaw a few times to release any tension in the face. And you can sway side to side. Bend one knee at a time and just feel that sway. And just imagine any heavy burdens you've been carrying roll off the shoulders. Sometimes I visualize like a backpack full of rocks just dumping out and let it all go. 2 more deep breaths. You can bounce. That feels good. And exhale. Release the hands, squeeze the inner thighs. Let's find a halfway lift. Soft knees, engaged glutes and hamstrings, strong belly, and long through the back of the neck. Inhale here. Exhale, keep the bend in the knees, the engagement in the glutes, and dive deep. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up, halfway lift. And exhale, dive deep. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reverse the swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart, close the eyes, come back to your intention. Inhale, sweep the arms up, touch the palms overhead. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, touch the palms. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and find your way into a high plank position. Hold here for 4. Get really grounded under your feet and your hands. 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And hold for the exhale. Now stay high, or you can come to the knee. Slowly lower to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up. Find your variation of high cobra. But whether you stay nice and low, or if you come up high, there's still pressure into the hands. Roll the shoulders back and down, and keep the elbows slightly bent. This time you can straighten the right arm and look, actually you're going to straighten the left arm and look over the left shoulder at the left foot. Feel that stretch on the right side of the body. And just working that left arm to straight, right? Inhale back towards center. Exhale, press into the right arm. Look to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, look right. Inhale, center. And then exhale, slowly lower. Inhale up through tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. This time, walk the elbows forward. Palms pressed together. As you sink the hips, the elbows drag back. And bring the palms together at the nape of the neck. Really walk the elbows in as close to your temples as you can. Finding a nice stretch to the triceps here. 3 deep breaths. Two. Last. Release the hands. Inhale up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. Stack the hips. Bend into the right knee and drop into the left heel. Drop the right armpit down by looking under the left armpit and find that stretch all out through the right knee. You can roll out the right ankle here. Roll it out in both directions. You can also take big circles with that right knee. In the right hip. Move in both directions. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, square the shoulders, square the hips. Inhale, that right leg reaches all the way back. And on an exhale, step it through. Pause here. Squeeze the inner thighs. Find a little levity, a little bounce, a little buoyancy here. And when you're ready, slowly come on up. Bring the arms up by the ears. Stay grounded in that right heel. Take a little micro bend in that left knee so that you can really integrate the pelvis. And notice that allows you even to lift the gaze and find a little mini back bend here. Crescent pose. Big inhales. And exhale. You can even interlace the fingers, steeple the pointers. Let's do 2 more deep breaths. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Release the hands, inhale here. And exhale, float the hands down. Step the right foot back. 4 deep breaths here in plank pose for 4, 3, 2, and 1 big inhale. And exhale. Stay high or come to the knees. Lower to 5, 3, 2, toes. Inhale up, high cobra. Or if it's in your practice, up dog. So you're on the tops of the feet, the thighs are lifted. All right, big inhale here. On an exhale, if you're in high cobra, lower to the ground and press up and back for downward facing dog. If you're in up dog, you can roll over the toes and come right to downward facing dog. So options. Second side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Stack the hips. Left hip over right. Bend into the left knee. Drop into that right heel. Square the shoulders by looking underneath the right armpit. And rotate through the left ankle in one direction. And the other. Circle through the left hip in both directions. On your next inhale, left leg reaches straight up and back. Square the hips. And exhale, step it through. So you want those toes in line with the fingertips. You can wiggle them forward if you need to. Squeezing the inner thighs and square the hips. Find your stability there. And when you're ready, come on up for crescent here. Beautiful. Slight bend into that right knee so that you can integrate the lower abdominals and really stabilize here. Before you interlace the fingers, steeple the pointers, and find your little back bend here. I'm just going to adjust the camera. I'm in a new location, so I always have to remember how to make sure we can see every part. All right, that's better. Finding your crescent lunge here for 3, 2, last one, big inhale, and exhale. Release the hands on the inhale, and exhale, float the hands down, step back, high plank. So I'll demo it on my knees first. It's just like a plank. I mean, you would do it from plank or on plank on the knees. And on an exhale, lowering halfway down. Make sure the shoulders don't go past the elbows. On the inhale, up dog or high cobra. Exhale, make your way through downward facing dog. And please find child's pose. Any variation with the arms is perfect. And we'll be here for 3 deep breaths. Come back to your intention for 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Release the hands, inhale up through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look at the hands. Exhale, walk or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, dive deep. Inhale, reverse your swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center, come back to your intention. Begin again. Inhale, reach it up, touch the palms overhead. Open the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, swan dive down, soft knees. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank position. Inhale, stay high or come to the knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or high cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. And step it through. Inhale up for crescent. Exhale, blossom open warrior two. So right knee stacks over right ankle, aligned with the inner arch of that left foot. Square the hips towards your side, reach the arms out long, gaze over that right middle finger, warrior two. Stay deep in that right knee for 3, 2, last one, big inhale. And exhale. Knee, right elbow to the right knee, and reach the left arm up. Bending into that right knee, find a nice straight line from the left outer edge of the left foot out through the left fingertips, and rotate the heart up towards the sky for 3, 2, last one, big inhale, and exhale. Straighten the right leg, reach the right arm up and back for reverse triangle, big inhale. And on an exhale, you're going to turn the right foot and eventually come to where the toes are in and the heels are out in a wide-legged stance here. Big inhale, bring the arms up to a T. And exhale, Prasarita Dandasana. Find your wide-legged forward fold. Hold here and breathe. The deepest breaths you can possibly take. I'm just adjusting the camera a little bit. There we go. 3. Two. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Hands, slowly pressing your way to a halfway lift. Engage through the glutes, you'll feel them lift. And up to a halfway lift. And when you're ready, coming all the way up. Inhale at 5-pointed star, heels in, toes out. Come on down for goddess pose. Knees wide, elbows as high as the shoulders, palms face up, shoulder blades squeeze, belly strong. You can rock side to side or take a little bounce for 3, 2, last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill down. Right hand, left hand. Step it back. Flow through any variation of vinyasa that feels good to you. Move through downward facing dog. And please, once again, find child's pose. Come back to your intention. For 3, Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Release the hands. Inhale up through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Can't remember if we did it on the first side, and we did do it on this side too. Inhale through that lift. And exhale, step it through. Inhale up through crescent. Hold here. Get strong, get steady in your foundation. We're going to use this foundation as we move through the next part of the series. Big inhale. Exhale, drop the right heel. Blossom open, warrior two. So there's a little outward motion of that left knee, so you can see the left big toe. Knee stacks directly over ankle. Left heel aligned with the inner arch of that right foot. Right foot is just perpendicular to the back of the mat. And the arms are level, shoulders and hips square to your side. Gaze forward over that left middle finger. Weight is really in that left heel. You got it. For 3, 2, last one, big inhale, and exhale. Left forearm to left knee, right arm reaches up and over. So there's a little bit of pressure of elbow to knee and knee to elbow, but instead of sinking into that left shoulder, press up and out and rotate the heart towards the sky. Straight line from the outside edge of the right foot out through these fingertips for 3, 2, last one, big inhale, and exhale. Inhale up through a reverse triangle, straighten that left leg, reach the left arm up. And when you're ready, turn the left toes in and the right heel in. That's your 5-pointed star. Let's take an inhale there. And then on an exhale, drop the heels. So you might be a little wider than we were on the first side. And when you're ready, slowly coming down into Prasarita Dandasana. Wide-legged forward fold. The glutes are still engaged. You might make it to where your elbows or forehead are on the earth. You're welcome to use the hands for support if you need to. You can also walk the hands back behind you and breathe for 3, 2, last one, big inhale. And exhale. Alright, so using the hands for support to come up to your halfway lift. There's an engagement through the glutes. They're going to lift as you come on up to a halfway lift with the arms extended. Hands up, drop the heels in. Finding horse pose. This time, hands come to heart center. Again, finding that bounce, that rock side to side, really grounding down, belly strong, spine straight for 3, 2, and exhale. Inhale up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two to the front. Inhale through a reverse warrior. And exhale, windmill down. Left hand, right hand. Move through your flow. Moving through downward facing dog. And please find child's pose. 3 deep breaths here. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Release the hands. Inhale up through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. This time we're going to hop through to seated. We're getting lots of requests for more stretching. You know, I love the power yoga too. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into some stretches here today. So from the front of your mat, let's bring the legs. Find your sits bones to support underneath you. Inhale, big reach. And exhale, fold forward. Now if you can grab your toes, great. If not, don't worry about it. I like to take these little finger tins so that I can still squeeze the shoulder blades on the back and use the shoulder blades to press the heart forward. So we're resisting the urge to round here. We're finding a nice straight spine. You can use the abdominals to pull you even deeper. Feet are flexed, so toes are really pulling back towards the face. For 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And when you're ready, slowly come on up. Let's bring the left foot to the inside of the right leg. And the right foot's going to come straight out. Get my dirty. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, dive deep. Oh, Kaylin, thank you for the sweet message. She says, thank you for sharing all of you with all of us. Yes, I've been going through some stuff. I made a post about 2 weeks ago about I was going through kind of like a depression. I was almost embarrassed to come back out here and be my normal smiley pink self after that. It was like, how do I follow up with that? Took some time off and went through some transformative experience a little bit about on these Facebook Lives, but also I'll be making a post here shortly to explain a little bit about what I've been through, and you know, I'm feeling better and I'm back to wearing lipstick and teaching yoga. So I appreciate you appreciating me, and I am committed to sharing the ups and downs. And yeah, this is great. Now it's like a real class when someone says something and I can tap back. I love when I can share a story in a deep stretch because then it goes by a little bit faster. Let's do one more big inhale. And exhale. And let's slowly come on up. Second side, left leg extends, right foot comes in. A little tighter on this right side. It tends to like, so you can really consciously press the right knee down to really bring the shoulders perpendicular to that left foot. Left foot is flexed. Big inhale. And exhale, bring it back down. Deep breaths. If you find that right knee creeping back up, press it down. And maybe think about, you know, since Kaylin chimed in and talked about, you know, how nice it is to see someone sharing all of themselves, you know, messy hair, bright lipstick, sad moments, happy note moments. That's really what keeps us connected as a human race, especially in this time where I do believe that we are being pushed towards disconnection. I'm not going to dive too much into conspiracy theories, but I will say that my intuition tells me that they, whoever they are, they were expecting riots because of the lockdown. And when that didn't happen, now there's something else causing these riots, and it's they need a reason to move us into a police state. And the most radical act of rebellion that was to find peace. Peace over fear. It's like I can almost hear them saying, give us a reason, right? So let's not give them a reason. Let's stay connected instead of fighting, because if we're not fighting each other, we're fighting the police, we're fighting the government. Let's just stop. Let's share with each other, be who we are, be peaceful and breathe. Let's do one more deep breath. And slowly come on up. This time bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. For those of you that are practicing in yoga pants, a little pro tip is to pull the yoga pants up a little bit before you do this pose, and then you won't end up splitting your pants all the time, which I sometimes do. So grab a hold of the ankles, sit up nice and tall, squeeze the shoulder blades to press the heart through. Big inhale. And on an exhale, engage the biceps to pull the heart towards the feet. Again, not rounding here. I think of the shoulder blades as being like a bulldozer or something, like pushing the heart through so that the heart is coming towards the feet more than the nose. So you can really grab a hold of the ankles and engage the biceps. Let the feet open up like a book. And then you can even press the elbows into the knees, and that my right side that pops is a place where I can really start to balance it out by pressing down. Deep breaths. Alan, hi Alan. I got your check right before I left for my trip. Thank you so much. Alan is an amazing yogi. He's been doing some of these yoga classes every day. Crazy awesome river trips out there in nature. And, you know, some of you are donating through Venmo or PayPal. And Alan sent me a check. That was so amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Two. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly come on up. Bring the right foot to the ground, slide the left foot underneath, and bring the right foot over the left. So we're going to use this as a prep for fire log pose. My friend Leah, who takes these classes, she's like, I can't do fire log pose. She's like, but I can do pigeon. So this is a pose that I like to use before fire log pose. So Leah, let me know if when you do this pose before, if you're able to get a little bit further into that. And let's set up that one-on-one session we've been talking about, because that's a great way to get practice that is specific to your body and the areas that you are looking to strengthen or lengthen. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, root down into the right hip, ground down. And when you're ready, left arm wraps around right knee, hug the right knee into the chest. You can start to twist here as you sit up nice and tall. Bring the chin over the right shoulder. I like to rock a little bit in this pose. It feels really good in my hips. See how it feels for you. For 3, 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And when you're ready, slowly unwind. So we're going to go right into fire log pose on this side. And slide that right foot forward. Left foot forward, and then right foot comes on top. So this is a way to from here to here, especially if it's really hard for you and your knee's up and you're leaning back and you're like, I don't even know. So this way you're kind of in it already. Take a deep breath. You're here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tip the body weight forward. Whew. And just see how you land it. If you can, right foot on top of left knee, right knee over left foot, even if it's not touching. You can adjust yourself, rock back and forth, settle in. I mean, you can see in just a moment's time of me first landing in this pose and just settling into it, how much more integrated it's become. Just like everything else in life, right? Inhale here. And exhale, you can reach forward with the fingertips. If you can. If not, just stay here. Breathe. If you can, reach those fingertips forward. That your foot is strong here and that it's not in here. See this overstretching of the ankle? That's kind of a classic, I don't like the word mistake, but something that needs to be adjusted, because this actually will stretch the outside of the ankle and leaves you kind of susceptible to sprain. So as an opportunity, the outside of the ankle, which I think we can all use a little strengthening there. So maybe you're able to get your palms flat to the earth. Again, not rounding, lengthening. As you tip forward, send your tailbone and your crown long in opposite directions. You might be able to get your forearms down. Someday maybe forehead. I'm not there today. I'm going to give myself a little chin in the fists. Sitch. And breathe. Ross Carney is watching. Hi Ross, I miss you. Let me know when you're ready for a cupping session. Ross is an amazing friend and client of mine. I do Chinese cupping therapy on him, Thai yoga massage, and really specifically some really deep jaw work. So if anybody's curious about that, I am opening up my practice again. I'll likely only be taking 2 clients a week of work that I do. It's a 2-hour session, but it pretty much takes me all day to prepare and work and then recover. It's a really physical practice for me as a practitioner, and I just decided that I'm going to be doing just 2 per week, and that feels really good. 2 more deep breaths. Last one. Release the hands and slowly come on up. And just notice how this pose has shifted for you in just a short period of time, with some settling in, with some practice, with some breath. All right, when you're ready, slowly release. Let's give it a nice shake. And bending into the left knee, bring the right foot underneath and left foot over. And take a minute to really just land into the sits bones. In this particular pose, it's quite important that whatever leg is up and over, so in this case the left leg, that sits bone is rooted down into the earth. wraps around right knee, gaze over the left shoulder. You can rock and roll a little bit forward and back. Hugging the knee to the chest, that's important. That's going to help you as this is a prep for fire log pose. Root down and hug in to lift up. Chin moves over that back shoulder. 3 more deep breaths. Two. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. All right, twisting back to center. Forward. So it's perpendicular to the short edge of your mat if your mat were straight and not twisted like mine. And then slide the left foot on top. So starting back here is totally okay. This is just how we're going to make it easier to get into that fire log pose. So this is for you, Leah. Notice the feet are flexed strongly. I'm a little rounded here, that's okay. And then you can start to kind of rock and roll a little bit. You can adjust a little bit side to side, forward and back. Until you find your way with that pelvis tip forward and sitting up nice and tall. Fire log pose. Maybe you're here, maybe this is all you got. That's okay. Maybe it still looks a little bit like this. Just sit up tall. Feel the stretch. You can even press down with the hand. If you are able to bring the fingertips forward, you might feel it more on one side than the other. That's okay. I like a little wiggle and a jiggle, especially when I'm feeling it strongly. So maybe you're resting here. Maybe you're here. Maybe you bring the palms flat. Wherever you are, keep breathing. Maybe you're able to come to the front of your rounding. So if you can use the shoulder blades to press the heart forward, that's when you're going to come forward here. Maybe forehead to the earth. Come here. Deep breaths. In the beginning of class, we talked about how when you can allow your exhale to be twice as long as your inhale, taps you into your parasympathetic nervous system, your relaxation response. It's also a way to let go of uncomfortable sensations, whether they're physical, mental, or emotional. So just count how many seconds you're inhaling for. Twice as long on the exhale. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And when you're ready, come on up. Take a moment to just notice how things have shifted for you in this pose since we first got here. And when you're ready, release. Give them a little bit of a shake. All right, we're getting into our final portion of class here. So I'll give you a moment to just take any poses that your body's calling for that we did not yet take today. Legs up the wall is a really nice one to end on. I don't prefer to teach or practice shoulder stand. If you have any questions about that, shoot me a message. You can also windshield wiper the knees if that feels good to you. Some people like a supine twist. But let's do a supine twist, especially after that fire log pose. I'm really feeling it. If you have other poses, go ahead and do it. But a supine twist, inhale knees to the chest. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. You can use your right hand on the outside of the left knee Squeeze the left shoulder on the back and gaze towards the left. And just breathe into the stretch here. I like to play around with kind of straightening my legs a little bit and then drawing them into the chest so that you get different angles here in the twist, and just see what feels good to you. And exhale. Arms to cactus or fill goal arms. Inhale up through center. Exhale. Drop the knees to the other side. So in my case, the left. You can bring the right hand and left hand on the right knee. Squeeze the shoulder blades. You can play around with straightening the legs a little bit or drawing them in closer. Just see what feels good for you. For me right now, a little straight leg is giving me a nice stretch from where I was really feeling it in that farewell pose. 3 more deep breaths. Two. Last one. When you're ready, come back to center. Now we never want to end on an asymmetrical pose or something that's to one side. So you always want to end with something really stabilizing and grounding and centering. So we're going to take a bridge pose here. Plant the feet flat on the ground. Hands come down by the hips. Big inhale. And on an exhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. You can tuck the shoulders under. You're welcome to interlace the fingers if your shoulders are pretty open. If they're feeling tight, just stay where you are and breathe for 3, 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, slowly roll down. Release the legs. We're moving into final Shavasana. And it doesn't have to be a traditional Shavasana. You can take any pose that you feel really good in, that you're able to stay still in for some time. So you can bring your pillows under your knees for final Shavasana. This is a really great way to support the lower back. You can bring a pillow under your head as long as it's not too high. You want the neck mostly straight. And maybe you want to cover yourself with a little blanket, especially that core area. Tuck the shoulders under, palms face up. Close the eyes and just allow yourself in this moment to surrender. What does that mean? Surrender, what does that mean to you? Can you surrender the breath to your natural breath? Can you surrender any tension in the muscles to be released into the earth? Can you surrender your mind and your thoughts to pure presence? And what happens when you surrender the breath? Surrender the body. Surrender the mind. Who are you when you're not trying? When you're not doing? Even for a moment when you're not feeling. just being. Allowing these last few moments of class today be in the receptive mode. In the beginning of class, we set intentions. I like to think of intentions as prayer. We're asking for something. And now we move into a state of receptivity, of receiving, into a state of meditation. I've been reclaiming the use of the word God recently. I was very comfortable calling people goddess, but not so comfortable with the word God. And as I've reclaimed the word God, I realize prayer is asking God for something, or asking the universe or source, whatever you want to say. And meditation is listening for an answer. Or maybe you hear a question. Maybe you hear a request. Maybe you are the answer to someone else's prayer or intention. In these last few minutes of class, to just breathe and be and listen. Three more deep breaths here. When you're ready, deepen the breath as you wiggle the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. You can move the head from side to side. Reach the arms up overhead, take a nice full body stretch. And on an exhale, soften. And one knee at a time, bring your feet to the mat below you. Roll through the fetal position and allow yourself held for just a moment. And when you're ready, gently press yourself up. Find yourself in that comfortable seated position. Bring the palms to press together at heart center and remember your intention, your mantra for the day or the week. Say it out loud or in your head. And sealing our practice, sealing your space with sound. 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time sigh. comes to the heart, lips, and forehead. These intentions throughout the week in our hearts, words and thoughts. The energy and intention within me honors the energy and namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. For those of you that jumped on here at the end, I'll be posting the replay on my Facebook page, also on my YouTube channel. I absolutely love when people watch replays through YouTube as I'm building my presence on the YouTube channel. Feel free to share these videos with anyone that you think would benefit from them. Everything's donation based, Venmo, PayPal, check. Alan sent me a check. I can take a credit card if there's a way for you to do that. And if you can't, please offer a blessing, a prayer, a shout out, a share. I love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please let me know how I can support you. If you just need to talk, you know, I've been going through some stuff and people have reached out to me to talk, and I'm so grateful. If you would benefit from a one-on-one yoga class, or like I said, I'm opening up my healing practice for 2 clients per week. That's Thai yoga massage, Chinese cupping therapy, deep jaw work. I love you all. Oh, you're welcome, Kaywin. Thank you so much for joining. Mwah. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, 9 a.m.